It has begun!
Mortal Kombat fans are currently on the precipice of a great new era for the franchise, with the highly anticipated Mortal Kombat 1 releasing later this year. Not only will the story and relationships of characters be changing drastically in this new era created by Liu Kang, but the cameo system in the game seems to be creating an entirely new style of gameplay for the series. In addition, the cameo system has been a way of increasing the number of classic Mortal Kombat characters that we will see in the game, as the roster of cameo fighters seems to include characters who will not be playable in the game otherwise. This is great news, as the extended cast of Mortal Kombat characters is massive, and as such, the amount of characters that haven't returned in a while is equally massive. This is helped by the fact that the game's focus on rebooting the series seems to be a great factor in which characters will return, so far placing a focus on older characters in Mortal Kombat lore, with the newest being Kenshi, who debuted in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. This has also increased fan speculation as to who will or should return in Mortal Kombat 1. Personally speaking, I think Shao Kahn would be great. I loved playing him in Mortal Kombat 11, and his role in the new era would be pretty interesting to see. Nitara, who has appeared frequently in the recent movies, yet hasn't returned to games since Armageddon, would also be a great choice. And it even seems possible that we might see General Reiko. Anything is possible in this new era. However, one character has been intriguing me more than any other in MK canon. A character who hasn't returned in any way in years. A character who I think has immense potential, and a character who I think fits perfectly into this game. That character is none other than Kai. Yes, Kai. Now I'm sure half of you are saying, Kai? Why bring him back? And the other half of you are saying, who the heck is Kai? Well, let me explain. Kai first appeared in Mortal Kombat 4, where he was another member of the White Lotus, like Liu Kang and Kung Lao. However, unlike the relationship between those two, Kai was more inexperienced, and instead of competitively sparring with Liu Kang, he was actually being trained by him, almost like a protege of sorts. His arcade ending showed that he would leave the White Lotus to Soul Search, but before doing so, Raiden gave Kai his staff, as he wouldn't need it when he became an Elder God as he did in his own ending. We see in Deception that Kai still has the staff. He returned in Armageddon, but every playable character also returned in Armageddon, so this essentially doesn't mean anything, and he does nothing of note. Even his ending shows him link up with the One Being, yet does nothing with this new knowledge or power. You know, the One Being, Mortal Kombat's god, essentially. You know, besides all the million other gods. And after this, he never appears even once. Not even in the new timeline. At all.
Well, that was a load of shit.
Now, after explaining this, I'm sure most of you are saying, Homer, why would you want to bring back this irrelevant and forgotten character who nobody even really seems to like? My answer to that is threefold. Number 1, gameplay. Since this new timeline shows Liu Kang ascend to a fire god, his abilities and gameplay style are changing to a mix of his old style and parts of Raiden's electric god powers. This is where Kai comes into play. He started out being derivative of Liu Kang's moveset, with certain moves that are similar, but those same moves having different attributes to them. And now that Liu Kang is changing, Kai can adopt some of those old moves, along with some of his own, such as his directional fireballs and using a spiked club, instead of Liu Kang's classic nunchucks. Number 2, he fits into this timeline perfectly. From what we've already seen from the story, Liu Kang is building up a new team of warriors, including characters like the Great Kung Lao, Raiden, Kenshi, and even Scorpion and Sub-Zero. This plot creates such a great opportunity for Kai to join the team. It can even be that Kai acts as a friend to Raiden and Kung Lao, possibly being Liu Kang's main apprentice. Number 3, the biggest reason as to why Kai should return, and why I made this video. Upon going back through the history of Kai, it dawned upon me. Kai is the most underutilized character in Mortal Kombat history. remember back when I was talking about other characters I'd want to see in Mortal Kombat 1? Well, all those other characters I wanted to see, they still appeared in MK media recently. Shao Kahn is a Mortal Kombat mainstay. Nitara was in both Scorpion's Revenge and Mortal Kombat 2021, and even Reiko showed up in the Mortal Kombat X comic. He also showed up in Mortal Kombat 2021, but he was so bastardized in it that I don't even really count that. Yet, Kai, on the other hand, despite being a character with a role as important as the protagonist's apprentice, Kai has only made 3 appearances in all of Mortal Kombat. MK4 in its tie-in comic, a brief cameo in Deception, and a playable character in Armageddon, where he does nothing. He hasn't appeared in any MK media in the last decade. This is even more confusing when you realize that this same archetype works so well in other fighting games. For example, in Street Fighter, there's a character known as Sakura. She's a disciple of the protagonist Ryu and uses a similar fighting style to him, as well as certain similar moves. Sound familiar to Kai? But why does this matter? Well, according to Capcom themselves, Sakura is the most popular Street Fighter character in the whole series. That is what truly perplexes me about why he hasn't returned yet. He has every reason to, and seems to be denied this return every single time without fail. In Deadly Alliance, Liu Kang was killed by Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, the titular Deadly Alliance, and yet Kai never appears to avenge his friend and mentor.
Hey man, can you drop
Liu Kang.
at the hospital?
I'm busy.
In addition, he didn't appear in Mortal Kombat X, a game that is an actual reinterpretation of the events of Mortal Kombat 4. Wouldn't it make so much more sense for him to be maybe one of the combat kids as a replacement for Liu Kang? Sure, that would conflict with his original age in the timeline, but wouldn't be the first time that characters' ages just randomly change in the new timeline. And hey, wouldn't you know it, he was planned to be in both games, yet he was cut in Deadly Alliance for literally no reason at all, and was cut from Mortal Kombat X because his spot was given to Bo Raicho, a character who wasn't even in Mortal Kombat 4. Okay. But, all in all, I think I'm done with this tirade. I feel like I've laid my case as to why I think Kai should come back to Mortal Kombat. While I would love for him to be a full character, I'd still be partially okay with him being a cameo character. And assuming he doesn't make it into the roster, then consider this my DLC wishlist video. Although, they've actually been pretty good with characters I've wanted to see so far. I actually had Smoke in this script before, but he actually got added to the game while I was editing it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, since I had a lot of fun making it, and I do really want to see Kai come back, and to bring awareness to a character with tons of untapped potential. Feel free to leave which characters you want to see in Mortal Kombat 1 and why in the comments. Better be seeing a lot of support from my boy Mocap, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again. Peace.